They are the most important set of nails of your life. Guess what nails that is? Wedding nails. Let's check out the trends for 2024. For over 30 years, I've been doing clients' nails, and the wedding day is the very most special day of their life. The reason being is because you're going to look back on that forever. And when you do look back on those, you generally want to look back on something that's rather timeless. Just because you put a lot of effort into the day and there's the dress and the flowers and the venue and all those other things that go with it doesn't mean you have to put all that into the nail. We want to keep the nail rather timeless and classic. So even though there are still trends that we can follow, we still want to keep along those lines a very classy and traditional in some cases, but a very clean palette with great beauty. Okay, so I've got a few ideas of what I've been playing around with. Because a wedding ring takes such center focus, we want the nails to be gorgeous, but not going to overpower the ring or the dress. So we're going to focus on one trend, which I think will never go out. It's always timeless. You can never lose with it, is a version of a French nail. So I've got some Frenches here, but I have to move the nails a little bit so you can see the subtlety in the French. A classic white, I'm going to do a nice soft white, and then I'm going to show you how to get this nice French difference and this shimmer underneath that's super subtle. So let's show you one. Let's start with a more classic look, and then as we go, we'll keep building and sort of ramping it up a little bit to get more into the kind of a glitzy design. So I'm going to start with 2 coats of white gel polish. Okay, we'll give it a second coat. Okay, white is classic, white is beautiful, but we're going to take it up a notch by giving it a satin finish. And we're going to do that with a chrome. So you just want to put your top coat on it and get your chrome on it. Okay, I'm going to give that a cure. Okay, I'm going to put a very light chrome on it. Gives it a nice shimmer. Now you can leave it just like this if this is the look that you're going for. I'm just smoothing it off, sort of almost like wiping it off. So you can leave that kind of shiny, extra shiny look, or you can put matte over top of it. I call mine velvet, but it gives it a real satin finish. Now don't be alarmed when it's going on shiny, because matte will look shiny when you put it on because it's wet, right? But as soon as you nuke it, it gives it that real satin finish. It's absolutely gorgeous for a wedding. Okay, now take a look at the satin finish. Now it's not reflective because there is no shiny parts. It's a matte finish. So it's a very nice satin finish, very subtle. Here is a shiny, see if you can see the difference. And now let's just take it up another little level. Just a little class on this design makes all the difference in the world. Just a couple little things you can do. Now I just need a little tiny bit of adhesion. Just going to use a tiny little bit of your top gel just to make sure that the little gem doesn't go anywhere. So you can put a pearl here or a gem of any kind, whatever. You can even find a color maybe that matches your flowers. You can go that kind of detail if you like. I'm going to use the tip of my gem jab here just to create a small little dot. And I'm just going to place it right back here or up here. Let's put it right here. The goal is just making it very, very centered. And I'm just going to pick up my gem and place the gem right there. Simple, right? But absolutely classy. So I've got 2 coats of my gel called Sweet. So it's just a very soft, nudish kind of pink. And then I'm going to use a color that is called Frost Me from one of my other collections. And it has just got a bit of a shimmer. It's like a chrome in that sense. You could use a chroma too if you like, but just use a frost or shimmer or anything like that that you like. I would also suggest making sure you sit down with your technician or you're doing it yourself. Go through the designs, practice a little, just like you do your hair or trying on dresses. Try the types of nails that you want before you make a commitment. So I'm just going to put a nice thin layer of this color right over top of the color. And this works for any light nude color, blue, creams, nudes, anything that you like. We're just going to give that a nuke. Okay, this design is a little bit of a play on negative space. So coat the whole nail now again with a matte top coat. And give that a nuke. Now again, these are very subtle, so in real life it's quite beautiful and impactful, but you might not be able to see it as much on camera. So I'm going to put a dollop of clear on my table because I need some top coat to make this design really come to life. And I'm going to get a very fine brush with a bit of a long bristles on it so we can make this move nicely. And I'm just going to paint some swirls. I don't know if you can see right away what it's doing, but because of the matte top coat, it's making everything sort of a satin finish or very velvet, but the top coat is shining it right up and making the swirl come to life. So it's very, very gentle, which is what we're looking for when we're talking wedding nails. That's really pretty. I'm going to nuke that then, the way I like it. And you can also do this with painting a French or a chevron look or a bunch of stripes. I actually did that with a different color. Let me show you. I was just playing with 2 different designs on one nail, so don't hold me to it. But I like the idea of it. Not this as much, but I really like these swirls down here. I made this one too thick because I wasn't sure if I was going to paint the whole thing, which you could. That would make a shiny French end. And that you can sort of do. This is reverse. So this is working with that negative space as well. I've got the matte here, and then I've got the matte here. You can see it in sort of 2 different ways. So now you don't need to top coat it because you've got 2 top coats. The matte's a top coat, and you've got the glossy swirls is also a top coat. Very pretty. Now, if I was to do this for a bride, depending on how much the bride would want that on there, I might just really opt for just one nail. An accent nail, maybe not the ring finger, maybe one of the other fingers as an accent. If the bride wanted all of them, then sure, we do what the bride wants. But I would probably recommend just to keep it really simple. You don't want your nails to steal away. You really want it to add to the whole design of your whole wedding palette of what you're doing. Now let's just talk about a little bit more of the nude tones if you want something really subtle. So sometimes you really want to go with that nude palette. Now, I think probably I might do that actually, just a very nude tone, but you might want to just something a little extra. Like we did the little dot on the cuticle zone. That's nice, but we could add a nice shimmer on top, but you don't really want a lot, not at all. You really want it quite subtle. This is a top coat, and you can slightly see that shimmer. It's absolutely gorgeous. So I'm going to give this a nuke, but I'm also going to put a matte over top so you can see that as well. That's absolutely stunning. I would definitely recommend this for a wedding nail. You want to just get that French in there. If you like that classic French, which I love, let's just do it subtly. We can do that literally by just painting a French. Now this is hard because I've got
shiny going on shiny, so I really can't see it very well at all. I'm just gonna go by memory here of where I think I put it. Okay, so I've got the matte on and I'm gonna give it a cure. Okay, so let's add that one we just cured to this. Now these two in the center, they're the same color of gel polish. They're very like a champagne-y nude color with that something glittery over top. This one is a matte finish, and this is matte French on the end. And this is shiny top coat, and then the top coat is on the French end. Just to give it a bit of a French, that's quite nice too, with the matte on the nail bed, and then the French design on the end. This one is completely matte, and this one is called Mist. This is Charmed, and this is the gel polish is called Mist. It's got that something blue, you know, that traditional saying. And then we've got a bit of a matte on the end, and we've got the top coat that's shiny on the nail bed part of the nail. Very pretty. Again, really subtle, but really classy. As years go on, when you look back at your pictures, your wedding photos, you're going to be glad you didn't go with something really, really trendy, like a weird shaped nail or really bright, you know, lime yellow or pink or bright, vibrant pink, you know. You want to stick with that real classic tones. Okay. One thing I wanted to add when you're using that Frost Me color, remember that shimmer? I wanted to show you on a clear tip. Okay, remember that this color, this is that Frost Me color. It's a very nice shimmer. I'll put it on here so you can see it. See that beautiful color? This has got the top coat on it, and this just simply has a matte over top of it, which is called my Velvet Matte. All I did was put a matte over top of it and cause that beautiful kind of frosted satin look, which is absolutely gorgeous for a wedding. You can see that real shiny frosted look and the matte, like a velvet, like a satin, which is absolutely classic for wedding nails. Okay, let's show you another design. Okay, this one's really actually quite simple, but stunning. I love it. It's one of my favorite looks for a wedding. So I'm going to just put a nice coat. It's actually just a top coat on here. And I would recommend that so you don't have to remove the dispersion layer. So get a no wipe top coat for this particular design. This is where we can make a little bit of mess and have a little bit of fun. But I got my little tray here to catch all the little bits. This is called Twinkle Sprinkle. I've just got little tiny itsy bitsy pieces of beautiful gems on here, and I just literally sprinkle it on. Just making sure I get every inch of that nail. Don't worry, the little dish, we can pour them all back in. I won't waste. And just make sure that I don't have any crystals that are fallen over the side. I want to keep the shape of that nail. I don't want that slim shape of nail or whatever I've done, a coffin, square edges. I don't want it to be compromised in any way. So I'm just taking a cuticle stick and just bumping my crystal bits so it's got a nice straight edge and it doesn't ruin any of my shape, especially if I've got that point on the end. And it'll wipe away if it falls in your cuticle, as long as there's no nail polish or gel polish in there to stick to, you've got no problem. I'm just going to make sure it's got it all up on the side. And as soon as I've got everything where I want it, I'm going to give it a nuke. So this is a couple of coats of a nice kind of a slate blue. This is called Mist from my Nude collection, but any blue that you like is nice and soft, which is the idea. And any color, this works with any color. First I've got 2 coats of my color on top of here. Then I'm gonna put 1 coat of matte. I want a real matte finish on this. And I'm going to cure that for the right time. And then we're going to play with a little bit of chrome. We're going to make some flowers. Sometimes brides like to have flowers on their nails, but we don't want to overdo the flowers because we want to keep it really quite subtle. Again, I would probably use this for an accent nail, most likely. You can also do it in a string of pearls. Again, this sort of keeping with the French design. You've got it in there super subtle. It's not overpowering at all. And that's quite cute. I kind of like that little string of pearls in the shape of a French line. But we're going to try some flowers. Now, if you remember, chrome likes to stick to that shiny top coat. So we need to put a little bit on our table here because we're going to use it
with our dotting tool. I'm gonna get the big dotting tool, a smaller dotting tool. And I'm gonna put a dollop of top coat right here. Now I'm gonna make the flowers with the chrome. So I need to get a dollop. Let's try maybe a big flower right here. You can see the clear quite clearly. Then I'm going to go to a smaller dotting tool because I want to make a smaller flower. I'm going to put another flower right here. And I'm going to cure that. And I'm going to rub the chrome onto that top coat. Then I'm going to take my clear once again and I'm going to dot it and sandwich that chrome right in between. Remember, you use the smaller dotting tool for the smaller flowers. You just dot right onto top of it. And you give it a cure. Now I'm just going to remove the chrome out of all the little parts. You take all that chrome off and it just leaves the flowers. It looks kind of like little crystal flowers. So then I'm going to do some centerpieces. I just need a little dollop of clear right there. And I'm just going to get a little bit on my brush and I'm going to go into the center of each flower. And then I'm going to go pick up some of these micro beads, super, super tiny. And I'm just putting them in the center of the flower. And I'm going to give that a bit of a nuke. Wedding nails are all about your personality. It's what nails are about in general. But now we have wedding nails and using some of the trends we have of 2024, using matte and shiny and some gems and a little bit of glitter. Keep a very classic nail that you can look back in time and know that you chose a very classic, beautiful styled nail that will be timeless. Thanks for joining me. I'll catch you guys in the next video.